Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the A Perfect Swing podcast, where we explore lessons in purpose, perseverance, and preparation from the fairway of life. I am your host, Ashante Epps. As you all may know, some of you may not, I'm an LPGA Class A member, uh, LPGA Top 50 Best Instructor, as well as CEO and founder of A Perfect Swing. So again, thank you for joining me today, and I'm your host. I'm excited about that. The subject today is one that I have conversations with people about fairly regularly. And while it's something that people have struggled with, I've been fortunate that I didn't have much of a struggle with this situation. And what I'm referring to is the support of your family while you are learning the game of golf, especially from a business professional perspective. You're already busy. You're already trying to battle work time with family and church and extracurricular activities for your children. All of those things are already on your plate. And then you decide, I need to play golf. It's like, oh, that's another time consuming opportunity that's sitting before you. And and it's very delicate in terms of how we maneuver through that so that we can put in the time to learn and play the game as best as we can, but also not break the relationships that we have because the support system is definitely what we need. For me, when I shared with my family that I wanted to learn to play golf, well, we weren't talking about golf in my family. We're the type is like, oh, you're going to do this? Well, we're all going to do it. Right? It didn't matter. We never said, oh no, we've never done that in our family. So let's think about whether or not we're going to do that. It was always a situation where, hey, where are you going today? We want to go try it. We want to go be a part. We want to see. And that has been very encouraging for me. They've done that for me probably ever since I was born. Through my hip injury, through college, through maneuvering as a professional in the business world, all of those things my family have been really, really supportive of. So I understand the critical uh, role that they play in the things that we do. And so today, I really want to talk about those things that we can do to ensure or promote the engagement of our family, close friends, supporting us in our golf journey, because that is critical. Now, as I meet individuals, I hear the words, they don't understand how much time it takes. I don't have the support from my family, or because they don't play, they don't know. Because I wasn't raised playing the game of golf, people around me don't understand. All of those are very accurate because that's your experience, right? Those are very accurate statements for you and what you feel and you're presented with in your particular environment. But I like to challenge people to think about it this way. While you may say that they don't understand and they're trying to figure it out, my question is, have you clearly explained your golf journey to them? Because outside of that, they're really guessing, right? And so today I want to dive into that because I feel like family members, they typically want to support us. It's sometimes just a matter of not understanding how they can, because golf is foreign to them as well too. And so as we educate ourselves, we have to educate them as well. So whether you're playing recreationally, whether you're competing, teaching, building a business around golf, communication is one of the greatest gifts that you can give the people around you, those that love you, to help them support you. And ironically, that same communication, those communication skills that you utilize for that, they're the same ones that's going to help you strengthen your relationships in the office, your business leadership skills. All of them, they really run one and the same. So let's dive into the 5 things that I think you can do to assist your family and friends with supporting your golf journey. Okay. Now, so the first thing is share why golf matters to you. So it's not just you saw something and you decided, oh, I just want to do this. It's not something that you are trying to get involved with, so you're just spending time away from those you've already built relationships with. But help them understand that, listen, golf helps me relieve stress. It's a way to improve my life. I can get walking, get some cardio in as I walk, but while at the same time exercising my mind. Strategically thinking through holes will keep your mental um, really together. Or telling them, listen, I want to do it for work. I want to be out playing with executives. I want to be able to build those relationships so I can climb the ladder so that I can potentially provide or gain more money, more finances, more resources for the family, right? So when they understand what the purpose is and why you're doing it, it gives them a better idea of understanding why you're doing it. They become generally more understanding about why you have chosen to participate in this particular activity as opposed to spending more time with them. And so that is really a way to mentally incorporate them in your journey because you're telling them your why. And I think this is so critical when we talk about this from a leadership perspective as well too, because great leaders are consistently and constantly communicating the mission, always ensuring that those who are um, under their leadership, that they understand why things are being done and what the end goals are. Um, it's not just simply providing instructions for employees to follow, but they're following purpose because they know what the reason behind it is. And if your team doesn't understand the why, they are really going to struggle to fully support the vision of your corporation, your department, your organization, all of those key pieces. So just remember that purpose creates commitment. So communicating that purpose to your loved ones, your family, those close friends, as well as in the leadership role, providing and communicating the purpose for what you're doing also strengthens those around you who are supporting or working or helping you get to your end goal. Now, the second thing, explain the time commitment. If golf is new to you, it's new to them. If you've been in a situation where you played basketball and football, then everyone understands, or in the environment, they understand the time commitment for football and golf. I mean, for football and basketball. However, if golf isn't something that has been prevalent in your community or in the community that they're from, they don't understand that you need to practice often. They don't understand that a round of golf could be 5 hours. And if you're using it for networking purposes, they may not understand that after that 5 hours, you may need an additional hour to fellowship, to have conversations, have lunch, dinner, whatever the case may be with those individuals so that you can build those relationships. So educating them as well, letting them know golf takes time. Um, Lessons, you need lessons, so time for taking lessons, time for practicing at the range. Um, and there isn't a golf course on every corner. So you also have to factor in the fact that, listen, I want to play at a particular course or in a particular area because this is what I need. These are the people I'm looking to engage with. And that may be a situation where you have to drive to that area. So if that's taking on another 45 minutes one way to go play golf, I mean, that's a 8, 9 hour job time right there. Getting to the range, I mean, or to the golf course, warming up, playing 18 holes of golf, enjoying the 19th hole so you can continue to build those relationships, and then drive back home. That is a full day. But if you want people to support you, you want to ensure that they understand the time commitment that is necessary for you to be successful in that particular area. And I can't stress this enough, also from a leadership perspective. Business professionals must also communicate expectations. Your employees need to understand what is expected of them. And you, as an employee, need to understand what is expected of you. Even from organizational roles, it is imperative that everyone understands what the expectations are for them. Successful leaders don't surprise people with deadlines, they prepare them. It is a process. And when expectations are clear, that is when trust grows and it is a more conducive environment for success, for growth, for trust, and that is where organizations, departments, companies, that is when you really flourish because the expectations are clear and everyone knows how you're moving and what direction that you're moving in. A perfect swing isn't about perfection, it's about purpose. In a perfect swing, lessons in perseverance, purpose, and preparation from the fairway of life. Discover how the lessons learned on the golf course can transform the way you lead, overcome challenges, and pursue your dreams. Whether you're a golfer, a business professional, an entrepreneur, or someone searching for purpose, this book will inspire you to embrace perseverance, prepare with intention, and lead with confidence. Your next chapter begins with one swing. Order your copy of A Perfect Swing, Lessons in Perseverance, Purpose, and Preparation from the Fairway of Life today. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and at www.aperfectswing.net. Again, that's www.aperfectswing.net. A perfect swing because success begins long before the ball is struck. All right, the third thing, share your goals. Your family or close friends, they can't celebrate your milestones if they don't know that they exist. So whether it's wanting to break 90, playing or qualifying for a particular tournament, becoming an LPGA professional or PGA professional, wanting to teach golf, grow your business, um, all of those things, like let them celebrate that with you. But for them to be able to celebrate with you, they have to know that they exist and they understand what they're supporting you towards, right? So again, not just saying you're spending half a day just frolicking the fields of the golf course. No, but you're really putting in work trying to reach a particular goal. And family and close friends typically understand that and they support you in those particular things, again, when they understand. From a leadership perspective, same things applies. Businesses operate the exact same way. Teams perform better when they know what the destination is. What are we trying to accomplish? What are we trying to do? What's the end goal? And those goals create focus. So everyone knows here is what we're working on. Here is why we're working on that. And everybody gets on board. And it's clear to see when someone's out of focus because they're not working towards the goal. So that is how you generate that teaming environment that you want for optimal success. So in essence, focus creates progress because everyone's focused on the same thing, marching on the same path because you have a goal that's clearly defined. That is how it works for golf. and business and life. The fourth thing is tell them how they can help you. We use the word support, we use the word encourage, but what does that mean to you? Because what it means to you can mean something different to me. And if your family members or your close friends, they don't communicate support the same way you do, it becomes conflictive. And the way to get around that is to just tell them. Because often people do want to help. They just simply don't know how, or they do it the way they think it should be done, but it may not be the way you want it. So, whether it's encouraging you after a difficult round, celebrating small improvements with victories or victories, those key things. But the largest part, typically from a golfer perspective, really, we kind of want them to listen. We want to share. So even if just having them say, listen, just ask me, how did I play? How did I play today? And then listen to me tell you. Not providing feedback, but just more so encouraging, saying, oh, I understand. Wow. Good job. Or you'll get them the next time, right? Or, yeah, well, maybe you could just practice on that. But mostly it's just listening, having the opportunity to share. That is some of the best support that they can give us. But if we don't tell them that, then they don't know. But maybe it's a situation where you like to be left alone. You've had a bad round and you want to sit with it. You want to rethink about how you played each hole. Because there are some individuals, they can tell you after playing 18 holes, they know every stroke that they've made on the course. Maybe you just want to sit in it. You want to try to visualize all of those holes, the shots, and what you think you want to work on. Everybody process is different. If that is the case, let them know that when I've had a bad round, I just need time. It's not a reflection of you. I just want to revisit this. And then when I'm ready, I'll come back. And whether you want to talk about it or not, or if you want to talk about it, share that with them. Because again, everyone's different. And it's just those small acts of encouragement. Again, whether it's talking to them or talking to you or leaving you alone because that's what you need, it makes a tremendous difference. And I talked about communication. So when you're communicating that, everything's clear. No one feels a spirit of rejection because you clearly communicated it, so you know what's going on. And that makes it easier for the environment overall. And this exact same thing works with us from a leadership perspective. Effective leaders don't expect people to read their mind. They delegate, they ask for help, they empower others in specific roles. Leadership is a team sport. It is not an individual sport. So you have to ensure that everyone's clear, everyone's moving in the right direction or the same direction. But again, those goals being very clear and that they are communicated. Golf may be played individually, but success is rarely achieved alone because there are other people in the background that are supporting you, maybe picking up the slack for things that you would typically do, but you're not doing at this particular time because you're learning to play the game of golf. That's how it works. And again, being open and vocal about that releases the tension in the environment so that you can be successful. So don't overlook that communication piece. And the fifth and final thing, include them in your journey. Invite your family to experience a tournament, even if they typically say they don't watch golf or they're not very familiar with it. Sometimes being at a tournament and seeing the excitement in your eyes, they'll see how important it is to you, and that brings on appreciation. Also, they get to see really the skill level that's on display for professional athletes, or if you're playing in a tournament, what your swing or your demeanor is like compared to everyone else's. And they're also going to inadvertently interact with other people that's going to share their enthusiasm about the game. So they begin to see other people who are excited about golf as well too. And that's important. But you can also invite them to the driving range. So while you're practicing, they can hit balls. You go to a clinic. You all can attend the clinic together. Uh, Charity golf tournaments. It's a scramble. Everyone can have a great time as long as you keep up with pace of play, right? All those things you can begin to include them so that they understand the game. And especially if they get out and try the game and they see how potentially difficult it is for them, they can also appreciate your journey, your path, um, your improvements. And that too will help from a relationship and support perspective. And the just of that is that sometimes support really is just it starts with exposure, because if you're learning it for the first time and they are familiar with it, exposing them to that helps everyone, right? And that's the same thing from a leadership perspective. The best business leaders create inclusion, meaning you're pulling them into what we're doing. You're pulling them into the company's goals and objectives and the vision that we have. Like, you're inviting them to be a part of that. It's not just a dictatorship of what's going on. And people support what they help build. So as leaders, including your employees, including those in your organizations that's under your leadership in the vision, and understanding all the intricate pieces, that helps. That helps them work towards or shall I say, um, have a greater appreciation, a greater urge for working to accomplish the goal, because it's something that they're likely passionate about as well too. So whether it's your family, employees, or volunteers, involvement creates ownership. And whether that ownership is your golf game or your initiatives, the fact that they can be a part of that, it makes them feel like they have a part of that ownership. And that is where you build trust, and it provides an opportunity for those around you to support you. So when we think about bringing all of this together, just know that golf isn't just about swinging the club. It's about building relationships, communicating expectations, sharing your purpose, inviting others into your journey. The stronger your communication becomes, the stronger your support system becomes. And that's the same with leadership. The greatest leaders, they don't lead alone. You got to lead someone or some people, and they build communities that believe in the mission. So that leadership is allowing you to build that community amongst those that are in the journey with you. Your family can become one of your greatest teammates, but first you have to let them in the story. And that starts with communicating, allowing them to have a part of that ownership, and celebrating together. So, as I close, here is your challenge for the week. I encourage you to have one intentional conversation with someone in your family or one of your close friends about your journey. Tell them why golf matters to you, what you're working towards, what your goal is, one specific thing that they can support you in, how they can support you. Give them just one thing that they can support you with. And then I want you to ask them how you can support them in one of their goals. Because remember, support goes both ways. That's just how relationships work, right? So just to recap, the 5 things you can do to assist your family with supporting your golf journey. 1, share why golf matters to you. Let them know that it's not just an opportunity to be away from home, but you are, whether it's working towards de-stressing, or improving your game to advance in your career, let them know that. Two, explain the time commitment. If golf is new to you, it is likely new to those in your community. Explain why practice is important, how long it typically takes, taking lessons, as well as the average time to play 18 holes of golf and what those things entail. That brings them into the conversation and knowledge about golf, and it helps both of you. The third thing, share your goals, what you're working to achieve with the sport, whether it's personal or professionally, but share your goals and then allow them to help you celebrate. Because again, that too builds the ownership of them supporting you through your golf journey. The fourth thing, tell them how they can help. Communicate clearly how they can assist you. Would you like to be able to share how you're feeling after a round? Or would you like to be left alone so that you can digest it and then partake in a greater conversation? Share that because that information is critical to them understanding how they can support you without creating a strained environment. And the fifth thing, include them in your journey. Invite them out to practice, invite them out to tournaments. Share your funny moments, share those high points with them, but allow them to be a part of the journey because then they understand where you're going with it. And that makes it a lot less stressful for everyone. All right. Well, thank you for joining me for another episode of the A Perfect Swing podcast. If this episode has encouraged you, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who loves golf and with someone who loves a golfer. Remember, a perfect swing isn't about perfection. It's about purpose, it's about preparation, it's about perseverance, and sometimes the strongest swing is the one that's supported by the people who believe in you. Until next time, keep swinging with purpose, both on and off the golf course. Take care.